Hey, thank you for those of you who prefer to be inside and wait for the coffee. It's called as postprandial insomnolence. Basically, you eat and then you feel like sleepy, and we're all waiting for coffee. So I promise to make it interesting to the extent possible. So what is an integrated AI ecosystem, right? Bridging generative AI with data engineering and governance at the edge. So this is what I'm planning to talk about. I'll skip this. Yeah. So I'm here to tell you the story of somebody called Venkana. He's about 263 kilometers away from here in a small rural village called Penukonda in Andhra Pradesh. So it takes about 3 hours for him to come to Bangalore. Okay? So what happens, right? He takes a bus, meets a doctor, okay? Sick? Telemedicine, is that what? Cool, Venkana is actually pretty cooler than us, right? And he seems to be healthy and happy again. Yeah. So this is the story of Venkana, and I'm trying to tell you how we save lives through AI, and Gen AI in particular, along with data engineering and governance, right? So he's an uneducated farmer who's got diagnosed with, a serious disease, and he doesn't have the financial means to continue his treatment in Bangalore. So he comes here, right, and gets some sort of treatment, some surgery, and then he cannot afford to stay in the hospital for a long time, and then he chooses to go back, okay? And then what we do through technology is what I'm going to quickly touch upon as to how we continue to inspire Venkana's life and save, right? And he speaks Telugu, a dialect of Telugu, cannot understand English. So all the stuff that we talk about probably is like Greek and Latin to him, right? Okay, so what's an integrated AI ecosystem, right? From our perspective, right, what I think is an edge compute with a middleware, right? Security and compliance being the underlying tenets of everything that we do at Movius, right? And then on the other side, if you look at it, data engineering, which is really, really deep, right? I'll get into it in a bit. And then just one part of the 6 parts is our Gen AI solutions. Just one part, right? I have just put that smiley with human-like hallucinations as well. So we do encounter that. And in this particular use case, in this project, it is extremely important for us to have fidelity, right? So your LLMs, any random LLM, I cannot fine-tune and then dump it because it's going to be like, somebody's life is at stake, right? So forget about rocket scientists. Here we are talking about lives. Right? So this is how I define as an integrated AI ecosystem. Well, you could have blockchain for some of you. For some of you, it could be deployments. For some of you, it could be physical devices. For some of you, it could be something else, right? But the point here is that, hey, just using an LLM or an SLM or a SLIM or something like that is not alone going to be sufficient to drive, really big impacts, right? So we encountered many challenges. So I'm just going to touch upon, well, I'm not at liberty to disclose anything and everything, but I'll just slightly touch upon, right? We are talking about a place in India, village, where connectivity is still not there, right? It's still, it baffles me to figure out that people still can't have a very good data connection. I don't know how many of you have experienced that, right? Now, imagine a conversation that Venkana has with his doctor on an edge. An edge, as you already know, right? The IoT systems have compute is like minuscule. And we are talking about an audio stream. We are not talking about, some key 1, 2, 3 things, or like, 10 bits that are being sent in, right? And then we're talking about pre-processing audio at the edge at 10x scale, okay? And then how do I transmit? Yeah? We'll come to the other parts of it. Then comes the data engineering challenges with data ingestion, building pipelines when the network connectivity itself is not really good. That's what we are talking about, right? Interoperability, very, very important for me because Venkana has an IoT, Venkana has vitals, right? All of us have, vitals. And then his disease, and then there's an audio stream. We are talking about 4 disparate sources of data coming together, right? How do I operate? And all of them are coming from different things, right? And then we come to the Gen AI part of it, which I'll touch upon, right? What we do. By the way, we have NERs, which are in-house built. We have a major part on translation, which most of you probably would not be encountering with. Predominantly, most of us use, an LLMs for an English-based this one. Flip the thing and then do that in Telugu, do that in Tamil, do that in, Marathi and Hindi, and then you will know what we are talking about, right? The complexity of, LLMs or, the lack of it. So we did multi-LLM collaboration, right? Yeah. So how did we build this AI ecosystem, right? I'm running short of time, so I just have to do, right? I just highlighted a couple of things. At the edge, my biggest problem is connectivity, not even capacity. Capacity is still second. Connectivity, I don't even get connected. So are you doing batch processing? Can I build a pipeline for continuous data stream? How? It doesn't even, we're talking about an audio stream on the edge, right? Sensory data is very, very differently done. So that's my first problem. Followed by capacity. So we have deployed tiny ML models. Tiny ML models, if any of you, and traditional tiny ML models, we are not talking about LLMs, SLMs, or anything like that, right? So that's how we did here. And then, of course, consistency. Data is fragmented. I get data. The same user has multiple calls over a period of time. And I don't get one call at a chunk one time, right? That's the big problem. Followed by data engineering, all of us probably are aware of how difficult it is to build pipelines when we are talking about batch plus a stream plus 3 or 4 levels of, we actually have about 20 plus data sources. Then we talk about middleware, and then that's when, the last part is Gen AI. I'm rushing through because I have like a couple of seconds here, right? So high fidelity, how did we do that? I'll just touch upon this one. We've got the broader LLM base, and then we built our own SLMs, right? And then we built the agentic racks. And about 25% of our improvement, we are still nowhere there where we want to be, right? High 90s. But the agentic racks that we implemented have really been useful. They're adaptive, and I would love to believe they're self-corrective. Okay, not the case. And then we have a task orchestration and other stuff, right? Yeah, okay, so that's time up. And this is a high-level design solution for those of you interested in learning about how we are getting this AI integrated ecosystems. I'm happy to touch upon with after this. Yeah. The work that we do here is impacting lives with a lot more Venkanas, safe, happy, and probably healthy too. Thank you very much for a patient hearing. Thank you.